Welcome to HillOnTheAvenue.com. I'm Pam Learned, and I'm the owner of the Hyperlocal website and also WordWork, which is the parent company of HillOnTheAvenue.com. Our vision is for Hill on the Avenue to become the online hub for our community. And to that point, what we're doing is a series of interviews with our community leaders so that you can find out more about Chestnut Hill and how you might be able to plug in. Today I am interviewing Greg Welsh, who is the president of the Chestnut Hill Business Association and also co-owner with the Chestnut Grill, the big yellow hotel where you can eat outside. And it's my pleasure to welcome you. One for all and all for one. What's that idea?
I have been the current president of the Business Association for a little more than 2 years. During these very difficult economic times, it really is putting a stress on our business association with the loss of businesses on the avenue, our very specific Blue Cross Blue Shield commission program that's really paid for a lot of the services coming out of our business association. And it's become obvious that we really need to find a smarter, more efficient way of doing business on the avenue. We need to look at our business association. We need to shape our business association as though it is a business. We need to operate it on the same business principles that I run my restaurant, that I run all my restaurants. What's necessary at this point in time is we need to look at the parking foundation. We need to take the BID, the Business Improvement District, and our business association, which have always been operating independent of each other, and try and find a way to pool them, bring them together so that we don't duplicate processes and that we work smarter, more efficiently, more effectively, take advantage of the economy of scale, pool these organizations together. And the way to do that is to hire a CEO to really represent Chestnut Hill. The program that I discovered a little over a year ago is called the Main Street Program. And it's a program that clearly defines where we need to go. It's been operating and recognized throughout the United States, right here in our own state, right here in our own city, right next door to us in Mount Airy.
The next question is that we had an occupancy committee, a unique group with people from the Community Association, the Business Association, and the BID, I believe, that looked at and made a recommendation that Chestnut Hill hire a retail recruiter. Can you give us an update about what the retail recruiter, who it is and what it means for Chestnut Hill in 2010?
A ad hoc committee from the Business Association got together and we did our due diligence. We looked at various retail recruiter training programs. And it turns out that we found someone right here in our own backyard, formerly a Chestnut Hill resident, who has a company known nationally as Downtown Works, Midge McCauley. And what she does is she travels around the country. She's hired by communities to basically train a retail recruiter who will stay in that community, and their function, the retail recruiter's function, will be to find suitable businesses to fill occupancies within a business district. Midge is the trainer, and usually she spends a year, but because of, let's call it the advanced status of our community and our business association, she feels as though 6 months is all that's really necessary in order to identify and train a retail recruiter. Midge has almost finished her work. She has been, I think they're doing their second round of interviews. There were probably 15 to 20 people who were identified as potential recruiters, and they're going to narrow that down to, I think, 3, at which time a group of us from the BID, from the Business Association, and the Parking Foundation will interview those candidates to see which one we feel is most suitable to work. We don't know how long. It may be 6 months, it may be 6 years. It depends on how the economy changes, how well they do their task of bringing in anchor businesses that'll really complement what it is, what our vision is on the avenue in terms of our commercial corridor. We're excited about meeting that person. We hope that in the next 3 to 4 weeks we have that opportunity to interview those folks. And the function of Downtown Works will sort of be over. But what they do is they meet on an annual or semi-annual basis with retail recruiters that they've hired throughout the country. And they bring them together to talk about what's happening in different communities, different business corridors, throughout the United States so that we all manage to get from each other another perspective.
So is the idea that this new business entity that we're talking about, the Three Musketeers, would actually be the employer of our own retail recruiter?
That's absolutely true.
Okay.
The CEO that we will hire, this is another position we're going to be hiring. The CEO will be responsible for the activity of that retail recruiter.
Midges has a report coming up, I'm hearing, is that in June?
I believe a report will be out in 3 to 4 weeks.
Any hints you can tell us that we can feel positive about looking forward?
Well, you can be positive to know that I have not been chosen as a retail recruiter.
I couldn't wrap up this talk without the jewel in Chestnut Hill's crown that was added in the last year, and that is the National Historic Trust's recognition of what Chestnut Hill means to the United States. Do you want to?
It's a perfect example of communication. We managed to reach out to the Commerce Department, and we found an absolute gem in Jim Flaherty at the Commerce Department, who has clearly guided us in terms of what it is we haven't been doing, and that's taking advantage of all kinds of national awards. He turned us on to the National Trust for Historic Preservation, who each year has a contest, and they try to identify 12 distinctive destinations nationwide that they like to bring to their readership and to the United States population in general as to where there are some secret gem communities hidden that you may not have heard about. And lo and behold, we were chosen as one of the top 12 distinctive destinations in the United States. I can't think of one other community in Philadelphia that has the wealth of quality of life that Chestnut Hill offers. And it's exciting. It's been exciting for 2 years to bring all these different community groups together, organizations together, and watch what happens when we talk to one another. It's been really fun.